All right, we are live. I was looking to see. Perfect. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that this was going to work on all of my different devices. So we're good to go. I'm super excited to be here with you all. I have been talking to business owners around the country, literally around what's working well in their life and then what are some of the things that are not going so well in their life. And so that's what birthed strategies for warfare. And I want you to like really lean in and lock in because it's really about the things that's holding you back from the promises of God. And one of the things that I want you to already start to think about, and I'm going to make you reflect on it, right? So, one thing is what part of this are you playing in your warfare? What part of this are you playing in your warfare? The second part is what parts of this is showing up as delay in your life, right? So there are two things, and I got on my special warfare hat today, y'all, because I'm just like, this is how I feel it, right? Hey, so I see Dr. Lisa there. I see Nat. I see Denzel. I see Ari. Thank you for coming out. So, yeah, we're on a journey each day this week. And it's really about making sure that we are in the best place possible to birth the things that are assigned to us. And that whatever it is that's happening in our life, we want to eliminate as much of the delay as possible, right? We want to eliminate as much of the delay as possible. And this is birth for me asking God, really like, where is my stuff? I asked a for real question, right? Because I know some of the promises in my on my life. I know some of the things that are assigned to me. And it just seemed like doors would crack open and then they would shut. Doors would start to, or things would start to move in a one way and then it will stop. And I'm just like, this can't be my life because I know that I am an heir of God, right? And so I am his daughter, you are his daughter, you are his son, and what is going on? It pushed me to this place. And so as I've been at a place where I've been thinking through this, right? Praying about this, here is something that I came up with. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So the thing that he comes to steal is our belief, which is our faith, which requires us looking past our circumstances and moving into a place where we walk in spirit and in truth and kind of deny reality. So he steals that. And because he stole that, he gets to kill our momentum. And so you will find your place where you're experiencing more procrastination than usual, where you're like, I don't have energy, all of this, right? So he stole your belief, he killed your momentum, all because he wanted to destroy the promise. But I want some people who are here with me tonight to put in the chat, he's not destroying my promise. Drop in the chat, he is not destroying my promise. And so people will talk to you about spiritual warfare. I ain't nobody's preacher or anything like that. I'm just walking you through the things that I am learning and growing through in life, right? So what does warfare even mean? I believe it's allowed hardships, oppressions, which occur in our life from the physical realm, but it's really birthed in the spiritual realm. And so when you get to a place where you're experiencing greater delay, when you get to a place where you're like, I'm not doing the things that I need to do anymore, I would argue that time is it's time to make a difference in your life. And what that time is, that means it might be time to fast. It might be time to pray a little harder. It might be time to figure out what it is that's your secret place and lean into there. But when you get to that place, here is what is not time to do. It is not time to doubt. It is not time to give in. It is not time to worry. And it is not time to accept defeat. Why? Because he came to steal our belief so that he could destroy our promise. And so, as people who are deciding he can't destroy our promise, we need a strategy. And so, I was thinking about this even more. And the thing that I started to think about was like, man, he's destroying our promises. What is this really doing to our lives? And sometimes we think when things are going quote unquote good, that it's time to rest. But I would argue when things are quote unquote going good, that means it's time for you to build up your stamina because the enemy is probably plotting his next strategy because he recognized the last one didn't work. And so we wrestle not against flesh and blood, right? And all of those different things that's mentioned in the scripture. Again, I ain't no preacher. I'm just walking you through what I'm walking through. So you have to then say, how do I prepare and put things in place to make sure that at the next battle season, I'm winning, right? And I think the place that we really have to lean into is our mind. Y'all want truth? I'm gonna give you truth. Last week was like, and it was like all because of what was happening in and through my mind, right? And I will tell anybody, I am super blessed, right? It was people who, there are people out there who would wish that they could experience some of the things that I'm experiencing, do some of the things that I'm doing, be able to get access to some of the people that I've had access to, right? But beyond that, I believe that warfare is tied to your value system. And so sometimes, especially when you are at a place where you don't really care a lot about material things, the warfare gets turned into internal parts of you. And you have to be mindful of the people that you're communicating with and how they can take you in and out of your space of genius. And that's a strategy that I feel like that the enemy is using to then steal our belief, kill our momentum, and then destroy our promise. So when you are in a place where you're like, things are not thinking the way that I want them to think, things are not going the way that I want them to go, I would challenge you at that point to go find that experience in the Bible and start claiming the God of that person. Because if that person made it through in the Bible, then gosh dog it, you gonna make it through. So, for instance, if you're experiencing some sort of delay in a sense, I would go to Abraham and Daniel. Why? Because the God of Abraham and the God of Daniel did so much for both of them when they were experiencing delayed promises. If you are with me and you're still moving with me, I want you to say, I'm taking back my promise. Put that in the chat. I am taking back my promise because no. Earlier this week, I put up a video and I was talking about how I get provoked into doing certain things. And I was talking about that because I was provoked, I feel like, by the enemy. Because I was just like, you're not about to sit here and play with my life. I'm not about to allow you to play with the things that are assigned to me. You're not playing with the people who are called to me. And so, whatever it is that I have to do, I'm going to do it because I'm taking back my promise. You can't have it. And it's literally the same old trick from the Garden of Eden. It is the same old trick where he comes into the mind and he literally still killed and destroyed the original promise that Eve and Adam had. It's the same trick. But we haven't really leaned into taking back this stuff in our own lives. And it takes us really going into the spirit and living by spirit and truth. So here are three things that I think could be helpful for you. Listen, if you want something like powerful and all that, go to Bishop Jakes, go to Pastor Hannah, go to Darius Dan, somebody, right? This is just someone who's walking through life with you and know that these are some key revelations that God is just allowing me to experience. So number one, if you're like, it's a lot of delay, it's a lot of procrastination, one thing you need to lean into and ask God is, where do I need wisdom and understanding in my life that I'm not really getting? So the first key is I want to know, where do I need wisdom and understanding in my life Because if you look at that thing the way it is presented as the reality, it is going to make you think that it is not going to happen. And if he steals your belief, he gets to kill your momentum and destroy your promise. And so asking for that wisdom and understanding is key because it's going to give you clarity to see the situation from God's perspective. And you can read Proverbs 4, 7 through 9 to kind of support you with that. Then there's a part of the Bible. So this is the second key. It says that, these things only go out by prayer and fasting. And a lot of times people assume that it's going towards like, demonic activity and all of that stuff. But it's saying that certain things require a little bit more in your life. And so when certain things come up against you, I am going to use the strategy of prayer and fasting, right? So if I am fasting, I have to be praying more while I am fasting, right? Because I'm committed to taking back my promise. I'm committed that the enemy cannot destroy my promise because he can't steal, kill, and destroy in my life. If he wanted to play with somebody, he should have found somebody else. And that's just like the confidence that I walk in, not in my own power, but in God's power. And so the third key is really to create an encouragement plan. And in Ephesians 6 and 13, it talks about putting on the full armor of God so that you can withstand the evil day. What that tells us is that we are going to have trials and tribulations. And the best thing that we could start to do is stop being reactive to the plans and plots of the enemy and start being proactive. So if we know that a day is coming where it's going to be hard, what is a proactive strategy and plan I could put in place? So when I'm experiencing this in life, I'm going to have these affirmations, these scriptures that are going to be here to guide me and to lead me in this moment. Because if I allow the enemy to steal my belief, he's going to start to kill my momentum. And I want somebody to be honest right now. Wherever you are in your life, whatever it is that you're experiencing, I want you to really look and see like how that delay or how that procrastination is really playing a toll on your emotions and your mental stability. Like, let's just be real, right? And if it's playing with your mind and if it's playing with your emotions, eventually it's going to show up playing with you physically. And so this is just for us to really like come in today and be like, nah. And this is my favorite one, like, hell nah. Like, and it's just literally telling hell no. Somebody said it stresses me out. Right. And so if we could move to that place where one, we ask God for wisdom and understanding on what we're seeing in the natural, then we attack that thing spiritually through prayer and fasting, then we already have our encouragement plan. Then we can make the choice to make sure that we are not idolizing the things that are bringing defeat to our lives. We have to be willing to drop everything and trust God, right? To say, well, if this is happening and if this is your plan, then we will rock with it. Lord, give me your strength. Lord, give me your strategy. But I think that we would do better if we just tell hell no and we're not going down without a fight. And if you caught this in the middle, it's important to go back. Why? Because this is something that I believe is a framework for warfare. Because just like in the legal world, when I tell people, it is not when something, it's not if something is going to happen, it is when something is going to happen. So when the trial comes, when the evil day comes, what have you done to make sure that you can withstand that day and that you can lay hold to your promise? And so as we begin to come to look at that, not going down without a fight, as we begin to kind of like wrap this thing up, if you take nothing else from this live, it has to be, I cannot allow the enemy to steal my belief. I cannot allow the enemy to kill my momentum. And then I definitely will not allow him to take my promise. And you have to decide, I'm not going down, fight. Right? Because what is that thing that's worth it to you? And y'all, some of this do be the enemy. Some of it do be warfare. Some of it is God because God's ways are not our ways and his thoughts are not our thoughts. But if we're keeping it a stack, some of it is us. And so, where are we bringing warfare into our own life? Where are we missing some of the principles in our own life? Are there some things that we could change? Are there some things that we could stop that could bring about a shift in our own lives? And I'm looking at that for my own self. Like literally, this entire year has been me hacking myself time and time and time again because I recognized something was happening with my momentum. And the thing that was happening with my momentum was killing things that I should be further along in. And I just woke up and said, hell no, right? And so if I have to go back to the place where I did 12-hour days, I'm doing 12-hour days because I'm about to see a shift in my life. Right? Time is the only resource that we never, ever, ever get back. And this is also a good time because you have this incredible mind here, like it is what it is. And I got on my warfare hat today, right? If you have questions, now is the time to kind of ask them or a topic for us to kind of get through because we should not walk away from this moment without a plan and without feeling invigorated to continue going on and continue going after the things that God has promised us. Right? We all have some sort of promised land. And the best thing that you could do is go to God and ask him for his strategy on how to take down the walls that's separating you from your promised land, on how to attack and kill the enemies that's separating you from your promised land. I'm gonna pause because now is a great time to ask questions. So really think through this. Okay. Okay. So I see some of y'all have committed. Okay. So what are the steps that I am taking to overcome procrastination? That's so great. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm actually sitting down and recognizing and owning when I have procrastinated. And I had to find out why. Like, why was I actually procrastinating? And when I looked at it, anything that's unknown to me, I actually go and just put it off for a period of time. And so because of that, I started to find places where I didn't want to stay there long, and I would go and do that activity at that place. Right. And so I don't like to go to public bathrooms, random, weird. So if I have a ton of work that I'm just like, I don't know if I really want to do this, I'm going to go take it somewhere else and I'm going to go get it done. And literally something that I was procrastinating on could take me anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And that 5 to 10 minute activity could be the game changer for like changing the profitability of my business, changing the profitability of your business. And then it becomes even trickier, like when we have children and husbands and wives and all of those different things. And one thing that one of my clients taught me is how she gives everybody an assignment for a period of time, and that allows her to keep working. Any other questions, y'all? Any other questions? And for some of you all, you're like, Jamila, I don't even really feel comfortable saying some of the things here. I'm dropping the link to my link tree so that you can connect with me for resources and you can connect with me for any support that you may need one-on-one. So just think about it, right? You got your 3 keys. Do not, do not, do not, do not allow the enemy to steal, to kill, to destroy your promise. The other thing is go to God. I promise you, he says, like, if you need wisdom, just ask and I will give it to you. And we have to start acknowledging him in all of our ways so that he can direct our paths. Right. And then sometimes we only end certain wars through prayer and fasting because that's when we get the greatest divine ideas and we sacrifice something for God for him to actually move in a different way. Ooh, I got another question. So, when do you leave a situation that is comfortable, but you're called to more in business? I think that it takes understanding that we serve God and we're here to please Him. And so, if we are not on our assignment, then the people that God has called us to do not get what they were supposed to get. And that's just selfish. And I think sometimes we don't even recognize the ways in which we're selfish, right? Think about the people who are watching this now and the people who watch this back and be blessed by it, be transformed by it. But what if I decided I couldn't show up for XY reason? What if I decided I'm too tired? What if I decided that, where I'm at, I'm good with the way that I do things. So I don't need to do more. Right. But if I'm assigned to do more, that means that I just need the grace to do it and to move from the place that I used to be. And it is a fight. You really have to fight to go to that next level because we are the body of Christ, right? And if the heart starts to break down on us, then the body doesn't run the way that it's supposed to run. And so if you don't do your part and you stay comfortable, somebody in the body doesn't get to be who they're supposed to be, especially for people who have just rare types of assignments and rare types of callings. I don't know if this has blessed anybody else, but it's blessed me. So if y'all don't have any more questions, we're gonna call day one a wrap. And I want to invite you to meet me here back again tomorrow, same time, right? Really working through strategies to take hold of the promises that are due to us, really finding out how we can dismantle the spirit of delay, how we can dismantle the spirit of procrastination, and telling hell no. Some of us, we got to tell ourselves no from the way that we're holding ourselves back. And for some of us, we just got to submit and ask God for strength through the process that He's taking us to. Y'all, it is attorney Jamila Moore. If you need any support, maybe you don't need legal support and you're like, I just need to talk to you about something. Make sure you visit the link in my bio and you can set up a initial consultation and you'll be able to receive 50% off using the code super2, which is a blessing unto you. And it is going to expire soon, but take care, right? Go back, replay this, go back and make sure that you're not allowing the enemy to steal your belief, steal your faith, kill your momentum, and then lay hold to your promise. You've come this far, you've made it through all of these battles. By all means, get the reward. See you tomorrow, y'all. Take care. I may not know how to end this live, y'all. It's my first time. Let's see, I'm gonna end it on YouTube first.